Yes, ready. Please take this dictation at the rate of 100 words per minute. You can prepare for your SSC Group C examination by doing these 1000 words at the rate of 100 words per minute. Yes. Start. Honorable Chairman Sir, the Sarkaria Commission report is a highly fruitful report. It is a very serious document which has taken into account the totality of the political life in the country, and it has made some very important recommendations, though very wisely. It has not touched the basic structure, the fundamental structure of our constitution, nor has it made any basic or radical institutional changes. If we go through the report, we will find that the main thread which is running through the entire report is unity and integrity of the country. That is why the Sarkaria Commission has laid stress again and again on a strong center and at the same time strong states. In fact, our founding fathers were very wise people when they were framing the constitution. They were foreseeing the events. They were very tall people and they could know what was going to happen. They could envisage, and so they envisaged that it is a strong center and strong states that was required, and there is no contradiction between the two. They must live in harmony, must work in harmony. The interaction between the center and the states is the primary characteristic of Indian federalism. In order to safeguard the Indian residents' safety and well-being, the central government and state government collaborate with each other. They work together to prevent terrorism, manage natural calamities, protect the environment, and prepare for socio-economic future. The evolution of the nation has been greatly influenced by these exchanges between the center and the states. The better center-state relations contribute to the improved administrative system and the integration of different communities of India into society at large. That is the spirit of our constitution. If at the time of framing of our constitution there was need for a strong center, there is more need for it today. Sir, we are discussing something which will affect the future generations also. We are attempting to review the center-state relations after a very long time, and so we have to be objective. We have to depart from the party angle. We have to speak as true Indians in this august house, which is the upper house of Indian Parliament. I would say that we must have people of very high caliber. So, if an ex-minister or if a person with a very long experience or if a very senior member of parliament is available, we should take advantage of his maturity. There should be no ban on appointing such a person as the governor. Many things have been said about president's rule. It has also been said that there has been abuse of this provision of imposing president's rule. As many as 9 governments were dismissed by the Janata government in 1977, and this was repeated in 1980. But the point is that the president's rule has to be imposed if there is no stable government possible for cooling of time, and that has to be decided by the president on the report of the governor. A governor possesses executive, legislative, and judicial powers that are more or less analogous to those of the president at the center of our federal democracy. However, unlike the president, the governor does not hold diplomatic and military powers. But I do not agree with the Sarkaria Commission that the reasons given by the governor should be put down in the proclamation imposing president's rule in a particular state. This will be wrong. If you do that, it will become justifiable. The courts will come into the picture and they will pass stay orders. They will go into the reasons, whether the reasons are correct or whether the reasons are justified or not. Therefore, I do not agree with this. Sir, I do not agree with the observations that it is desirable that a politician from the ruling party at the union is not appointed as governor of a state which is being run by some other party or a combination of other parties. In my opinion, that is not practicable. As I said, I do not expect that when a person becomes a governor, then he forgets to which political party he belongs, and when he sits on that high pedestal, he must take objective view of the situation. In any case, the Commission suggests one more constitutional amendment. I would say, do not bind the choice of the centre by writing it into the Constitution. All these good points must be taken into consideration, and we should have a convention that we will not appoint any person of a low caliber or a person who is not expected to deliver good things. Para about the All India services, I am surprised at the demand being made in certain quarters. A memorandum was given to the Sarkaria Commission by some people that this should be abolished or that the states should be allowed to opt out of it. This will strike at the very root of the principle of unity and integrity of the country, and it is against national integration. I am therefore glad that the Sarkaria Commission has rejected it. As far as All India Radio and Doordarshan are concerned, functional freedom is there, and these bodies have a responsibility of shaping the public opinion. Both the All India Radio and the Doordarshan play the role of national and public service broadcaster and serve as the voice of the government and the people. Later, it was decided by the president to convert them into Prasar Bharati. Media is a mediator of information between the citizens and the state. It is the fourth pillar of our democracy. With regard to ordinances, there has been a lot of hue and cry. I would invite the attention of the House to the findings of the Vadhava Commission. The Commission found that in Bihar, both the Janata and the Congress governments were guilty of this. For years, they went on promulgating ordinances and renewing them, stop and over.